I want to talk to the women in the church. I want to talk about grace. You say you're saved by grace. How are you saved by grace when grace is to turn you away from ungodliness? And you're at the church on the wrong day. You know it's ungodly to go to church on the wrong day? Did you know that going to church on Sabbath is a mark of Jehovah? That's the mark of God. So how are you saved by grace if you're denying grace because you're in the church on the wrong day? How are you saved by grace if grace is given to reprove the world of sin and you don't know that sin is breaking the Ten Commandments? How are you saved by that? You're not saved by grace. You're saved by the conviction that turns you away from sin. Sin is transgression of the law, because anybody that sins is in transgression of the law. So, your grace is your conviction. When that was put in the Bible, when it was written in Greek, G5485. And if you go look at this in the Strong's Concordance, it's especially the divine conviction on the heart. Especially the divine conviction. Well, isn't that like when you tell your kid, I told you not to do that twice, and you did it anyway? You knew better than that. I've told you. It's grace from your Father. But when you deny that, you're turning grace into lasciviousness. You're turning God's grace into lasciviousness, which is ungodliness, unrighteousness, lawlessness, and downright wicked. See, because you're taking the one thing that the Father has to help you get on the right track, and you're saying, well, my daddy told me not to do that, but I don't have to listen to him. I knew better. I knew better because he told me. But that doesn't matter. He's still going to not spank me when I get home. It's going to be okay. You're turning it into something it's not. It says grace is given to all men. That means everybody has it. But you've taken it and you've turned it into something it's not. So you're not helping the world with your connection with the Father. What you're doing is you're turning away from it. You're making it a lie. Scripture tells us that in the latter generations, they're reprobate. And they're under a strong delusion that the Father puts them under. So, if you have a Bible, you go to church on the wrong day, and you put a whole bunch of makeup on, and you got your cleavage hanging out, and your skirt's too short, and you go to church, and you're looking at other men, or just having them look at you, and you're saying that you're saved by grace. And then when somebody at the church or anywhere else says the word fuck, you go, oh, how rude. How dare you? You see me sitting right here. Don't cuss in front of me. When you go home, you stub your toe. You know what comes out of your dirty little mouth? Fuck. God damn it. Lasciviousness. Reprobate. Judgmental. Heretic. Pharisees. All these words. Liar. Scripture tells us it's our righteousness to judge righteously, to keep the 10 Commandments, to judge by only the 10 Commandments. So in other words, when someone tells you that you are a liar for saying that you've never said that in your life, you're a liar for assuming that saying that word is a sin and judging somebody by it. That's unrighteousness. Because the Bible tells us, judge, lest you be judged by the same measure. In other words, if you're going to judge me for saying that, then God's going to judge you for that. You know what he's going to judge me for? Calling you a liar. Because I don't lie. That's one of the 10 Commandments. That's what I judge by, is if you are lying. If you are lying and saying that you've never said that, but you haven't judged anybody by that, not only you're a liar, but you're a really bad one. Even I used to do that. This is how I know that. You think I don't breathe oxygen and have blood pumping through my veins? I used to be that. I know how this works. I've been to all the churches. They're not good. So you sit and act like they are. They're not. I know there's a lot of good people in there that are looking for God. I know that. The church itself is not good. This is Jeremiah 23. I would hate to be a pastor right now. Especially a lying woman pastor. They're not even supposed to be pastors, women. They're only supposed to teach women and children. They're not supposed to teach in the church. Especially teach men. That's a no-no. So if your grace is not convicting you not to break one of the 10 Commandments, then you've turned it into something it's not. You've trodden underfoot his sacrifice. Deuteronomy 5 and Exodus 20. Keep the 10 Commandments, and this is what you're supposed to judge people by, not your own vain imagination. That's what the Bible tells us.